Welcome to tonight's BBC special, where we get an inside look on the events of the past. I'm your host, Lewis Curtis, and we're joined today with Cardinals star shortstop Nick Ruth and former bootlegger McAurthor Whitney. The 1920s heralded a new era of spending leisure time, from watching movies, dancing in intense parties, to spending thousands of dollars in watching sporting events, especially popularized by the radio. With the rise of false prosperity obtained after World War I, sporting events became a great consumer business to stimulate American economy. From the famous Jack Dempsey heavyweight champion and the famous Babe Ruth, the Yankees baseball superstar, tonight we interview Nick Ruth, Babe's third cousin twice removed. Nick Ruth, how was it playing in the golden age of sports? There were a lot of opportunities had out there in the playing field, with more and more stadiums being built and teams being made. Did you know my team was created in 1920? What was the salary back then? My salary was about $5,000 to $10,000 annually. Back then, that was a large sum of money. That salary could support a family of four fairly easily. However, the big shots like my cousin Babe typically made a hell of a lot more than the average professional ball player. What do you think about Jackie Robinson getting drafted by the Brooklyn Dodgers a couple months ago? I think that it really changed the culture of sports for the better. Back then, Jim Crow laws really stood in the way of great athletes due to the color of their skin. But you know, that didn't stop them from creating their own Negro National Baseball League and Eastern Colored League that allowed them to show their abilities as well. I've seen Robinson play, and goddamn is he good. Well, what do you think your impact is in the history of sports? Well, obviously not as much as my cousin, but I think sports in the 20s, in general, like boxing and football, really opened the world to new ways of entertainment. You know, the first Olympics was held in 1924, and I think that goes to show how sports not only helped American economy during the roaring 20s, but was also a great help around the world, and even brought the world a little closer. That's true, there was an increase in nationalism due to the Olympics. Well, that's all we have for you. Bootlegger McAurthor Whitney when we come back. Welcome back, folks. The 1920s was also a time for change, not just in free time, but in social morality, which came in the form of the 18th Amendment that prohibited the production and transportation of alcohol during World War I, after the country needed to supply foodstuffs to our allies. This came to be known as the Prohibition movement. This movement carried many emotions and challenges along with it. This act contradicted the new culture of partying and racy dances that the Roaring Twenties brought along with it, leading many men such as Mr. Whitney to start bootlegging alcohol and moonshining. So, Mr. Whitney, I understand that you're a bootlegger. Do you think that what you were doing is justifiable?
I never truly believed that bringing alcohol to America or making moonshine down in some forest in the South was illegal. Like many Americans during this time period, this amendment was illegitimate. You can't tell us that it's illegal to drink something that we've been drinking for years. Even those dry hypocrites who make the laws drink that good old moonshine.
How exactly were you able to bootleg successfully?
Well, I come from a wealthy family from the South. Rich people were typically able to hide their liquor easily due to having underground cellars. However, if a poor family were to have a bottle of booze, they were more prone to being caught. My buddies and I ran a monopoly on liquor in a small town in Tennessee.
Was Prohibition detrimental to American economy?
Heck yeah. The writer of the law thought that it would benefit consumers, businesses, that drunks would find something better to do, and that they would be more productive. But business and restaurants around the nation failed without profits from alcohol.
Do you have anything else to say, Mr. Whitney?
Honestly, Prohibition created more problems than solutions. It made criminals out of millions of Americans, a corrupt relationship that was created between law enforcement and criminals, such as bootleggers. I cannot truthfully say what I do for a living now.
Well, that's it for tonight, folks. Join us next week when we talk about the 30s and the Great Depression.